Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much, guys, for your gracious support. Now, fellow Kenyans, there is something here that I want us to talk about, because at the end of the day, I normally say that this is our country, and we have to talk about what is happening in it, whether people are saying that, we are against William Ruto's family, we are against the government or not. But at the end of the day, all of us must accept that this is our country, this is our nation. We have to talk about what is happening in it, what the family of what the first family is doing, whether they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. But of course, you have to understand that this is the family that everybody is looking at. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because of this. Yesterday I was out, and I think you all realized that yesterday I didn't do any video. I was out, and fortunately I met one of the drivers of William Ruto's son, that is George Ruto. One of the drivers who normally drives his nganyas. And during the conversation, he didn't know me, so we were just having a conversation, and I don't know whether I should say fortunately or unfortunately, this guy disclosed something to me that I never expected. This is what this guy said, that George Ruto has bought 52 nganyas, and these nganyas ziko size a pipeline. They are being wanazi decorate. I think you all know the way nganya zake was inakaa. Now, why did this man decide to buy these nganyas, or why did this man decide to buy these matatus? We know very well that in 2027, from June and July 2027, we're going to have AFCON in the country. AFCON is going to be hosted in three East African countries: Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. Now, George Ruto has bought these 52 nganya, these 52 matatus, purposely to be used to be transporting players from one point to the other, funds from one place to another. It means that hiyo biashara yote tayari familia ya William Ruto imechukua. Nataka tuelewane. Tayari hiyo kazi yote, wewe saizi ukienda kwamba uende uwe na matatu, useme kwamba kazi ya kubeba fans, kubeba wachezaji kutoka hoteli moja ama nyingine nitaifanya. I want to tell you that please forget about that, because that work has already been taken by William Ruto's son, that is George Ruto. Now, these nganyas these matatus will not operate. Bado ziko store, zimewekwa kwa go downs, zitaekwa hapo mpaka next year June, wakati ambapo AFCON itaanza hivi ndio zitatolewa. So you will be thinking, according to you, you'll be thinking that we are watu, I think they will be branded differently, they'll be given different colors. So you'll be thinking that but at the end of the day, hizi kazi zote zimechukuliwa na mtoto wa William Ruto. Now this was my question, and this has been my question. I didn't want to talk to this guy because he was like, I've ever seen you somewhere. Unakuwa na YouTube channel, and I really want to, sometimes, it's when such kind of people talk, you must be very much careful and very much keen when responding to them. So this is what I've been thinking, that hii serikali William Ruto is demanding, like every financial year, anatakaga 17 billion State House. Na hii 17 billion bado anataka aongezewe zingine. So my question has been this: with this 17 billion, where is this guy taking this money? Hii 17 billion hata ikichukua anafanyia nini? What is it that this guy is doing at the State House yenye haijafanyika na watu, haijafanyika na presidents wengine? Is this the way these guys wants to deal with us Kenyans? Is this literally the way these guys wants to deal with us? Now, I've been calculating, and during my calculation, I took 52 nganyas, 52 matatus, and each matatu costs a total of 6.5 million. So if you calculate 52 times 6.5 million, hiyo inakuletea 338 million Kenya shillings. 338 million Kenya shillings, hiyo ni mtu mmoja. And is just a young man. Ametoa hiyo wapi 338 million Kenya shillings kununua all those matatus? Let us be realistic. Majority of you are thinking that this Talanta Stadium itatengenezwa wa Kenya watachezea. Talanta Stadium William Ruto is focusing hiyo Talanta Stadium kuisha wakati wa AFCON, June and July. So I've been asking myself, so William Ruto anataka kungoja mpaka ile wakati ambapo amebakisha mwezi mmoja na atoke FC ndio Talanta Stadium ameanza kufanya kazi. You know, in this country, we are really doomed to a point that we don't see a lot of things happening. That is the mistake that is happening. So, hii familia yote, Rachel Ruto akona biashara zake, Shalini Ruto akona biashara zake, George Ruto akona biashara zake, William Ruto naye tuwezi tukasema. That guy, we can't say anything about William Ruto because the way that guy is ruling this country is something different. It's really something else. And we can't really talk about it because if we try to talk about it, the people will be like, oh, you are against William Ruto, you are against the government. We are always not against. I normally say that we are never against William Ruto's government. We are never against William Ruto's government. We are against, what we are against is bad governance. So if he can come today and tell us that, okay, this is what we are going to do and we are not going to rule you with a lot of thorax, then everything will be on the table. Everything will, but I think everything will be easy. William Ruto will have the easiest government ever. Lakini akiendelea hivi anafanya vitu jinsi ambavyo yeye mwenyewe anataka, I don't think if Kenyans will agree with him. Na hata mambo yake ya kusema kwamba anataka 2 term, hii 2 term ataionea view sasa. This guy anaenda kuonea 2 term view sasa. The second story is concerning Nanyuki. Yesterday I had CS of Health, that is Duale. Duale was saying that they've stopped building quarantine facility in Nanyuki.
Now, Health Cabinet Secretary Eden Duale has dismissed claims that the government is going on with the construction of a 50-bed Ebola quarantine facility at Laikipia military base. This, even as recent satellite images appear to show ongoing construction within the military base, including what seem to be white medical tents already erected on site. Duale maintains that the government is fully complying with a court order issued on the 29th of May, which temporarily halted the project following a petition filed by Katiba Institute.
Tension remains high in Nanyuki, Laikipia County, following a series of protests against the proposed United States-backed Ebola quarantine facility at the Laikipia Air Base. Hundreds of residents took to the streets demanding cancellation of the project. Recent satellite images show recent activity of an ongoing construction at the airbase with white tents already erected and a series of flight radar indicating movement in and out of the base. According to the agreement between the government of Kenya and the United States government, the U.S. would assume full responsibility for the construction, equipping, operation and management of the facility. Despite government assurances that the project is part of broader Ebola preparedness efforts, critics continue to question the transparency surrounding the facility, particularly following a court order that temporarily halted its construction on 28th May, pending the determination of a petition challenging the project. Despite these telltale signs, Health Cabinet Secretary maintains there is no construction going on.
Which construction? We comply with the court.
While the government maintains Kenya is prepared, the lack of publicly available information has fueled suspicion among sections of the public who are putting the government on the spot for withholding critical information from Kenyans in regards to Ebola isolation centers.
We have 23 facilities which are quarantine, treatment centers, isolation centers. One of them is where you are. Before you leave, go to Kenyatta National Hospital, National Police Service Hospital. About 12 of our very high-risk counties already they have been mapped out. We are building quarantine isolation centers. If you go to JKIA, you'll find an isolation center. People coming from the areas that we feel are close to the epicenter, those planes are being taken to a different area within the airport. So we can give you the list. There are many, 23.
NTV has noted that every time the government officials are asked to provide a comprehensive list of the reported Ebola isolation centers within the country, journalists are often met with vague responses, with no clear information being provided on the exact location of the remaining centers.
You don't want me to clarify?
They are following court order.
all systems in place.
But you are ignoring a court order. Why?
Which court order?
The court order said stop this construction of this facility, the Ebola quarantine facility.
Yeah, so?
Why? Why are you ignoring it?
Who said we have ignored it?
You're ignoring it. You said in Parliament today, nothing's going to stop you.
Let me say this. I don't want to go into the merits and the demerits of the Laikipia quarantine and treatment facility because of the matter is before court. But I want you also to read the Public Health Act, Section 35 and Section 36, and look at the powers given to the Minister for Health in the event of an epidemic, in the event of a crisis of this magnitude within our region or in our country. There are certain powers as a minister.
Yeah, but
I will not, if I wait for a court order and God forbid an Ebola outbreak happens tomorrow in our country.
Yeah, but
let me finish.
There's no outbreak.
Let me finish. In the event, what is happening? You know, people are more concerned, Jeff, about, of course, I agree, the greatest risk to our country is importation of travelers. You know, Kenya is a regional hub in terms of trade, in terms of aviation, in terms of transport. The whole of East and Central Africa, the Northern Corridor serves. How many trucks go to Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, all the way to DRC and back? So we're more focused, narrow focused on Laikipia. But look at this. A Kenyan from Kinshasa. There are many Kenyans who are in Kinshasa, Katanga, Benin, Beni, Lumumbashi. I have been there myself. Even this Ituri, when I was the Minister for Defense, when our troops were there. So I know the ecosystem there. Imagine that Kenyan crosses. His temperature is checked. Everything is checked. There are no symptoms. The incubation period of this disease is 2 to 3 weeks. He comes here, he enters into the community, and then after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, he's found with the symptoms of Ebola. We must prepare in advance and build all the 23 quarantine, isolation, and treatment centers.
So you're saying you as health CS, you supersede the courts in a country where we supposed to have run order?
No. The courts are there to serve both. So the court have told us to submit all the cooperation agreement we have with
But in the
US.
meantime, they said stop.
Yeah, so we have stopped.
No, you haven't.
Okay,
You haven't stopped.
Have you been to Laikipia Abyss? How have you been?
You said in Parliament today, nothing is going to stop you.
Let me tell you.
I'm quoting you.
Let me tell you. If you go to Kenyatta Hospital, Kenyatta, the National Police Hospital, MTRH, Alupe, University Hospital in Busia, we are building all the 23 we are building.
Who's paying for this?
Of course, the Kenya government plus partners.
What partners? Is the U.S. government paying?
No. Let me tell you. Follow me. I mean, this is a global regional. We had a partners meeting, WHO, Africa CDC, US CDC, US government. Secondly, the president hold a high-level meeting with the diplomats. Let me finish with the diplomats. I was a member of the meeting of IGAD ministers. Yesterday there was a meeting of East African ministers of health. So there is partnership, there is cooperation, there is resource mobilization from all partners. We need more support for our labs. We have 3 major labs. Our country is great, man. In the region, we are great. I mean, we have built over the years through the assistance of the US. The US government has spent the last 23 years, $8 billion. That's close about $1 trillion. Today, the achievement we have in our country, on reductions on HIV.
But
let me finish.
Don't forget
HIV, TB, malaria, building of upscaling our labs. It's because of the partnership we have with the US.
Correct, but don't forget, USAID shut down operations, what, in January? Right? WHO scaled down considerably. Where's this money coming from?
What are you talking about? WHO has built, go to Kenyatta University. During President Uhuru Kenyatta, they were given 5 acres.
That was the...
Let me tell you, their biggest emergency operational hub is in Nairobi, in the whole of Eastern Central Africa. Africa CDC is setting up 14 countries regional center in Nairobi.
Okay, but the concern here is the Americans are very concerned about Laikipia and Nanyuki and building that facility. Are they paying for it for their own people? Are they paying for that?
But they're the first country to give us on this Ebola alone 1.7 million Kenya shillings. 1.7 billion Kenya shillings is the US, among others.
Are they paying for Nanyuki?
The whole, including the whole 23 centers we are building, facilities we are building.
The US is paying?
We are paying, US is paying, other donors like WHO has given us about 1,000 PPEs. So many. We have over 20 partners.
Bed occupancy, people are talking about what, 50 bed facility?
My question is this. Duale, can you prove to us that you guys have stopped building quarantine facilities? Because I remember very well when Aden Duale was being interviewed by last Wednesday when he was being interviewed by Jeff Koinange on Citizen TV, he said, he stated very well that they're not going to stop building facilities, quarantine facilities, simply because someone or some people somewhere are demanding it to stop. Because at the end of the day, it's going to take care of Kenyans. We all must agree that this thing is not built to take care of Kenyans. Hii quarantine ya watu wanajenga hawaijengi kwa sababu wanataka isaidie wananchi. Wanaijenga kwa sababu wanajua vizuri kwamba, and imagine hii quarantine ikishajengwa, no black person will be seen kwa hizi quarantines. So can Aden Duale prove to us that they've stopped building quarantine facility? Hiyo tutakubaliana naye. Kama ako na uwezo ya kutuprovia that, you know what, we have stopped building this quarantine facility and we're not going to do it again, I think itakuwa rahisi. Lakini until then, I don't think kama kuna mtu yote mwenye atakubaliana na chochote ambacho Aden Duale anasema. Anyway, I would like to know what you think, fellow Kenyans, at the comment section. Don't forget to drop me a comment. That is my opinion. That's just my thought. I also want to know what you think at the comments. Do you really think that this first family, family of William Ruto, together with the wife and the children, the way they are ruling this country, the way they are managing things, jinsi ambavyo wanafanya vitu, do you really think it's something really necessary? Is it a necessity? Is this the way a government should rule? Is it the way when a family gets power, the way they're supposed to rule? Let me know what you think.